Belfast. Just gonna, haven't got too long this morning, so I'm gonna drive down the Falls Road, Shankill Road, and also the Peace Mural road as well. So I'm gonna have a bit of explore and try and find out, or trying to just have a look round to see what it's all like. I've been down there before and it's quite thought-provoking area. Obviously there's been so much that's happened there in the Troubles over the years. Thousands of people have been killed and injured in the Troubles. So I'll go about it with some sensitivity. So as we're driving out of the city at the moment in Belfast, this would look like any other city in Britain.
In 3/4 of a mile, turn left onto Falls Road.
There's nothing that says that this was the venue, the city for such division. And so far my stay has been very safe, very normal, very much what you'd expect when you go to somewhere else in Britain. There's going to be a reminder in a bit though that it's not always been that way. So already on the right hand side you can see the very, very high fencing on the side of this building, which I believe was a police station.
Stenolite sent a long message. I won't read out longer messages automatically.
The reason they need to have high fences is because of they were throwing petrol bombs over into the yard of the police station, which obviously not good. Falls Road, Boffer Farm. So there's a Catholic church on the right hand side. Quite often I don't know what I was going to say then. So the Falls Road is very much a Catholic area. A lot of the people here believe in a united Ireland. So Northern Ireland and Southern Ireland as one country. So outside of British control from Westminster. So far there seems to be nothing to indicate anything different from here from anywhere else. Pub here called the Red Devil. And Diabal Dirk, my pronunciation is appalling. So one thing I have noticed is that more places are having two names displayed on their premises. So there's the Irish name for it and also the Northern Irish or British words. Which is very much the case when I was in the Republic of Ireland, yesterday. There was the Irish place name and then also the anglicised place name. Sinn Féin councillor. Starting to see a couple of murals and memorials labels on the sides of houses. There's one here on the right hand side. Sign the petition for the Chief Constable to go. But there's still not much to differentiate from many other places at the moment. There's an Irish flag there. That's one thing, you've got an Irish flag in what is a Northern Ireland country as part of the Great Britain. So there is more emphasis that they want this area to be Ireland rather than Northern Ireland. That's interesting. You don't often see that kind of desire, that kind of will. I'm in the wrong lane. Yeah. Two. People kind of let me in. James Connolly. From bullet to ballot, evolution to revolution. There's lots of creativity. They love a good mural. But they've got reason to. This is what they believe. If they're not getting heard for what they think and what they believe and what the whole area as a whole pretty much believes in this part of the city. It's a voice that stands together. No matter what the situation is. Driving on the Falls Road now, on the way to Shankill Road, so back down the Falls Road and across. And one thing that strikes me is this is a normal neighbourhood. There's people walking to their places of work. It's late August, so people aren't going to school. But there are some people going to school. It's the end of August. Do they go back earlier in Northern Ireland? Interesting, didn't know that. But there's the Lollipop Lady, people going about their businesses. There's the butchers here, the Falls Road. There's a family of butchers there. There's pharmacists. There's independent shops. Not many chains here, but the more just people going about normal business. So it makes you think that when the Troubles were happening, people still had to get on with work, they still had to earn a living. There's a mural to the left there, James O'Connolly. It says, "Our demands most moderate are, we only want the earth." Interesting. So there's a medical centre, solicitors, tanning shops, florists, care homes, pizza deliveries. It's interesting because it would be quite easy, probably lazy and naive, to think that this used to be very much a lawless area, and if you've got arguments with the
In 1
state
mile, turn left
police,
onto Northumberland Street.
the army that are in place on the streets as well. That certainly from my experience of seeing places in England, just interrupt there, human rights activist Pat Finucane targeted by British establishment, executed by unionist death squads. Another one here, Belfast pogroms, executed 1922. That's a year after Northern Ireland was set up. So yeah, I was saying that my experience that when there's riots and things like that going on in England that I've been aware of, you often see a lot of looting and a lot of kind of just driving it, a lot of kind of selfishness. I don't. It doesn't feel like a selfish area. There seems to be a community of people wanting what they want together. Now, thankfully, what everyone wants now, or vast majority, is peace. And it's 25 years since the Good Friday Peace Agreement was signed. And yes, there were riots 2 years ago, and thankfully that didn't seem to have been repeated since. So we're now coming to Shankill Road. The island flags on buildings have been replaced with the Union flag. And there's flags across the road. It still feels like any other city but for the flags. The businesses here are just doing one language rather than two languages. There's a on Connor Corner here, there's a mural, but that looks quite Japanesey. It's on the side of a couple of Japanese businesses. Makes sense. So here there's innocent Protestants murdered here. A memorial to them, lest we forget. To the right about Derry. They love a flag here, don't they? So ordinary people, extraordinary roles, people who have died, force for Ulster. So these are people here, Protestant people, who want to be British. They are British, but they want to be British. So there's a mural here on the left to Hugh Smythe, OBE. Shankill Protestant Boys Flute Band, on the right there. Ulster Rangers, so Glasgow Rangers in Scotland, their supporters club here. For obviously there's a lot of Protestant Glasgow Rangers fans, and Glasgow Celtic being Catholic, so there's the link to Glasgow there. 3 more. Tavern Loyal Shankill Road. Just to say the kind of area it is, there's an advert on the left saying 90% of the young people in this area say it's easy to access drugs and alcohol. This is just another area of a British city. Now, this hasn't always been the case though. So I'm going to head back and try and find the Peace Mural. So these gates used to close at night time between the two neighbourhoods, between the Protestant area and the Catholic area.
Turn right onto Cooper Way, then arrive at your destination.
So at the start of the Belfast Peace Wall, there's different people's signatures on here. So I'm looking at a few here. Peace for everyone. Peace is possible. Peace and love. Namaste. Praying for peace for all people. We'll walk along here. Zoom out a bit.
They're going to get meet up with the wrong people, and of course they were, you know, and all that. You know, anyone here.
Open your arms to change, but don't let go of your values. Dalai Lama. Please respect the artwork. Minding minds together. All we have is Pluto. '23 signatures here. Just gonna walk through.
That's a famous people have brought a message here.
Sorry, people.
But to me, the most famous person who put a message
So not all the messages here are positive ones. So the one of the tour guides there was just saying that one of the most famous people to have signed this peace wall was the Dalai Lama, who we just saw down there back in 1995. So all these people have come here and signed their name saying this is what we want peace. There's the one that says drug dealers will be kneecapped. Interesting. Not really in the spirit of peace. Ghetto fun. It's the voice of people. Don't be afraid. It's Mario Brothers. We're easy to control, divided. Interesting. Prayers for peace. Be kind. May future bring the continued path. Quote from the Bible here, Ephesians 6:12. Do not let the dark spiritual forces divide us. Bring down the wall, tear down the wall, only love. Peace and love from Poland. For peace, be kind. Forgive each other. I think forgiving each other is a different level, isn't it? There's taking on board peace, but to forgive all that's happened is another level. You hope that if they are God-loving communities, that forgiveness becomes a part of that. I did. It's actually the British Army that turned this into a peace wall, apparently, if what I read is correct. Sri Lanka. Choose life. The artwork in this. Lords. Must have sold a lot of paint. Alternative. Let go of the past. Fight for a better future. Shipyards. Shankill and the Titanic. Titanic, hope lost. Industrial legacy. Pray for God in Ulster. Shankill used to be street upon street upon street of 2 ups and 2 downs. These houses were unfit for human habitation, but there was one good thing about it. There was an intense sense of community. A whole extended family living in the same street, grandparents, aunts and uncles, a married daughter with her children. There were famous communities on the Shankill. When they came to develop the Shankill in the 60s, the Building Design Partnership did a survey. In the entire Shankill redevelopment area, they found 1 tree in Downing Street, ironically. Must be a road called Downing Street. I worked with my father. I hope someday my son will work with me. I like drawing. I like to illustrate and write my own books. I practically live in the library. I'm writing a book now. When I was a young girl in Northern Ireland, a young trade unionist, there was a crowd of us who were really going to change the system. We were going to set the heather on fire, but over the years we never found the matches. Most of these people are now in positions of power because I think they learned, like me, that you don't change the system from outside, you can only do it from the inside. Integrated education is one of the greatest passions in my life. You can't really see the other side until you've been to the other side. I suppose in a sense, coming from a working class background, you learn that there's a different kind of power. There's power in people uniting and getting around an issue. In later life, working with people in the Shankill and Impact, I consider we're all learning together the kids teach me as much as I would ever dream of teaching them. And that comes to the end of the main bit there. But you can see at the end there, with gates closing off the community. This is Belfast in 2023. You'll see that some of the original artwork behind's been covered up by this one so you can get people's names on it. There's so many different pictures on before that are more artistic than graffiti and name-based. So things have changed. I think I preferred the old one where there's so many different pictures in the background. To be in a lot of photographs. Thank you very much. Thank you.